right now. Our office is located right down the street on Elm Street, right at the corner, right around the corner from here. You can actually walk here from the school. And we are getting ready to, in the throes of building out our third floor. So it's going to be specially made up for kids. There's going to be TVs on the ceiling and all the hoopla-rah, so that when they come in, they'll feel extremely comfortable in having their dental exam completed. Now, just a little bit more, we have an office in Swanee also. I don't know where everybody's located. I'm assuming everybody's in this immediate area since this is the school attendance right now. We take all insurances, including Medicaid, just to let you know that. You can call, we've got brochures right here that Heather's going to be handing out that basically tell you more in detail about our practice. It discusses how we feel about the world in general. We have our core values of how we basically keep a balance in our life, and it's family and God and work's last in the line, but we care about those things passionately. We enjoy serving in the community. Just to go a little bit into that, when you first started into the school system in Georgia, you had to go to the dentist, your child had to go to the dentist and get their teeth, a screening done. We affectionately call it a Form 3300, but you had to go to the doctor and make sure to say that your child was healthy coming into pre-K or kindergarten. It probably takes you back in time, but you had to do all of these things to come into the school. Well, we go in and we try and perform that service in daycares whenever anybody needs them. We ended up, I belong to the Forsyth County Y, I'm on the board there, and we had our group, Children and Teen Dental, came in there and we did screenings there also. We're getting ready to start an anti-bullying campaign that reaching out to the community, because we realize that this is a problem out there, that we want children to be kept safe. We touch just all kind of communities trying to help out, and we do fundraising. We do, most recently, we handle, you know, when you go to a football game or a basketball game and you have a roster that has all the kids' names on it, we do those for the schools. The cheerleading competitions, we handle that for them also. One of the schools, I guess it was Otwell Middle School, had a Spirit Day a couple of weeks ago, and we supplied water for that. So we're out there in the community wanting to do anything we can to help out. I guess, does anybody have any questions with regards to the practice itself? Do you want to know something about brushing teeth and when you should start your children to the dentist? I'm going to maybe switch that over to Heather.
Clinical wear. She gets dressed like I'm in the clinical outfit here.
Oh, and let me tell them about this.
Tell them about this.
Okay, I've got these, and you wouldn't even have to have these if you called up our office. But right now, for $49, you can have a child's teeth. If you're uninsured, you can have your child's teeth checked out, cleaning, fluoride, X-rays, and also the exam itself for $49. So that's a matter of calling up our.
$50 if you had to pay straight out of pocket.
Yeah, it would be. It would be very expensive. Well, what is it? 150?
It's about $250 for the whole thing, because we do the full set of X-rays, X-rays, and a fluoride treatment. $49 on the.
Okay, and that gets your kids' teeth all back in order and everything. Okay. All right, Heather. You want me to do anything? What do you?
I'm just going to hand out these. If you guys have any questions,
You want to talk about it?
Yes, ma'am.
¿Hasta qué edades? Y en caso de que uno no cuente con una aseguranza, también puede llevar uno.
What if they don't have insurance?
Okay. If you do not have insurance, we have this to start with, and after that, depending upon what they need, we'll discuss that. We'll do whatever we need to do to help you out.
And what ages do you accept your patients?
as soon as, I mean, as you know, most insurances will cover once they're born. All your kids should come 6 months within getting the first tooth in the mouth. And I know you're thinking, oh my God, they're a baby, but that's mostly a informational for the parents, what to do, what not to do, what to look for. It's not necessarily a cleaning at that point, but it's more of an informational for the parents.
But hey, could you talk about babies with cleaning of teeth, as far as doing that?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how much time you guys have, but Michelle can even take. All your children, even though if they have a tooth in, they should be brushed twice a day, morning and night. After you brush, no bottles afterwards, no milk. Try not to give those bottles at night. You've got to give a bottle at night, let it be water. No toothpaste at all unless you use the non-fluoridated toothbrush, the toothpaste trainer. You can use that up until about age 2. At that point, you use just a smear. It is now recommended by the Academy of Pediatric Dentistry that you can use a smear of fluoridated toothpaste. After the age of 2, and they're able to spit, then you can switch to the full fluoridated. In the state of Georgia, our water has been reduced. The fluoride in the water has been reduced. So now we need the fluoride in the toothpaste, where we used to be getting more in our drinking water and in our school water, and even though you may not be doing it at home, they still drink water at school and church and those kind of places. So.
¿Hasta qué edad, perdón? ¿Hasta qué edad
¿Hasta qué edad que?
los atienden?
So what age is the limit? Like up to what age?
We go through, we're servicing kids all the way through college.
Hasta la universidad.
Pretty much they get tired of us before we get tired of them, but you know, I don't want to get a baby.
Is anybody on the verge of needing braces for their children?
I'm just gonna give you guys a hand out.
You are? We have a free consultation with regards to doing that. It's a matter of calling up and making an appointment, but that's a free consultation.
And
Also,
again, this is for the kids, right?
this is for the kids, exactly. We are a pediatric dental group or orthodontics. It's not for adults, okay?
¿Tienen el precio o si quieren para que lo lleven? Me imagino que
The cost?
Or,
that would be the consultation.
For orthodontics?
Set prices, or did you tell them the price?
Yes,
after
the consultation is gonna be free, and then once they determine how long your child needs braces and how many years, how long, the extent of what they need, they'll go over that.
and they do payment plans.
Yeah, very, very reasonable payment plans.
This pamphlet right here discusses oral hygiene, and it restates some of the things that Heather has pointed out in talking with you. And if you have any questions, please, by all means, call our office.
Yes, please.
Do you have someone that speaks
Yes,
Spanish?
I was just about to say that. We do have a Spanish speaking. Yes,
Yep,
absolutely.
her name's Lori.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
Now I got that whole office paper.
I'd like
Oh, absolutely.
where's your location?
Oh, we're just
Now we will have Elaine Glover.
Elm Street on the corner of Elm
Talk
and
about
along the highway. Let me
motivating your
get to the
child.
other one. Absolutely. You want it? No. Okay.
So is gonna look at.
My name is Elaine Glover, and I'm a licensed professional counselor. I see clients, and I love parenting. I was a parent, I still am, a parent, and I wish I knew back then what I know now. And this is one of the things that I used on my own children, and I love it. Today's objectives is you can use encouragement. That is the skill that I'm going to be talking about, is words of encouragement. You can use encouragement to build your child's self-esteem. Yes. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm not good at talking loud. Today is more about building the motivation so the kids want to learn rather than the actual skills of sit the child down, read it first, and then review it and all that. I'm just going to go through, and they're actually words, statements that you say that build that self-esteem. And I'll tell you my story with my son as we end. Encouragement can help your child to feel loved, accepted, respected, and valued. In other words, you're going to boost them up so they feel good about themselves. Praise and encouragement are not the same thing. We always give praise. I hear on the ball field and probably with your grades, good job, and I want to say, no, give me good effort. This is about praise. Praise is when you express approval or admiration of the good grade, the chore well done, things like that. Praise is, a synonym is approve. Praise means you approve of the end result. Oh, thank you, that was great. It means to judge favorably or consider agreeable or good. But it is still of the end result. You haven't talked about the child, you talk about what they do rather than who they are. But encourage is what we're learning today. It is to inspire, build up with spirit and confidence. And if you feel confident, you want to do your assignment. You want to do what you need to do. Synonyms of encourage is to reassure, support, and hearten. Again, you're building them up so they feel good about themselves. Okay, I'm going to talk about the differences between praise and encouragement, because praise is what we hear all the time, and praise is what we do. So this is going to be a new language. It's going to sound a little strange coming out of your mouth, but we'll address that later. But praise is on the external control. Praise is about, I have, they're in fourth and fifth grades, but they used to bring me their pictures that they drew in school that day, and they say, look at my picture. Now what do we normally say? Good job. But it wasn't about the good job. I reflected back onto her with encouragement and said, you seem proud of your picture. I never gave an opinion at all. And they would always walk away and say, dude. So she felt proud. That was all that was important, not what I thought. Praise rewards for well-done tasks. It is all about the finished product. You did the chore well. You made an A on this paper. Good job. But that you've never said anything about their effort, their determination. So they are still looking for this praise out here for what they've done well. Praise is things done well. Praise focuses on evaluation and personal gain. What can I get out of this? If I do something, if I make another all-A, then can I get a reward? Am I going to get and sometimes it's just approval of the parent. Good job. But it's really more about what they think about it rather than what the parent or teacher thinks about it. That grade. Now, encourage is all about themselves. Remember I said, if you feel proud about your picture, so see, they were able to have their own opinion, their own self-control over it. It is also about internal evaluation. That's what I've been saying. It's how they think about it. It recognizes efforts and improvements. Because see, someone can give a lot of effort and still make the C. But they tried hard, they were being determined, so you can talk about their praise and their determination as long as they're making progress. And there is language for all of this. You're not going to have to make up the language. It will be concrete statements that you can make. I'll hand those out later. Praise, again, it's just what we said, just looks in a little different way. It's about the external. That's what you want to remember about praise. It's about the end result, and it's about what someone else says about it. So it's all about external. The child may understand what was said to them as, I am worthwhile only when I do what you want. We want their children to feel worthwhile no matter what they do, as long as it's right. So they may learn to conform to what is being said. Now, this is not about discipline, that's a totally different thing. Or they may rebel in that they don't want to cooperate because they are still not getting internal build-up. Okay, I think we've just done that one. Yes, and this I've already said that it's for the end result, and it's for things well done. Well done. They get no comment, no, I'm going to use the word praise. They get no praise for something that's not well done. So they probably, get a finger pointed at them. You need to get in there and study. You need to do this. So in a way, we're almost putting them down. Not on purpose. I hear it all the time. They may develop unrealistic standards and evaluate themselves how close they come to perfection or how close they come to that well done project at school or whatever. An example is I have a grandson, he's so funny to me. So he's out on the soccer field, and I know this is not about grades in school and homework, but it's a great example. He was out there, and Dalton is really sort of timid, Some people kick the ball and it goes all the way to the other end of the field, and he just barely kicks it. Well, he kicked a hard ball. So what did Mom do? My daughter. And she says, good job. And he yells back off the middle of the field and says, no, it wasn't. It didn't go where I wanted it to. So he already begins to self-evaluate. But you see, while what we think is good, they may not. So that's another reason not to use praise. Now, there is a place for praise. Your child's got a project, he's had a hard homework this week or something, and he really worked hard, and you come in and he makes an excellent grade. Now, there's a better statement coming at the end, but it is good to say, well, now there you need to say you put in a lot of effort. No, you really need to do that. But if he's on the ball team, football team, and he runs a 50-yard dash down and makes a touchdown, then you can say, good job. Because I think he did a good job at that point. But see how praise is used much less than encouragement. I think that's the same thing. With encouragement, this is one of the reasons you want to use it. It focuses on the child's ability to manage his life constructively. And what that means to me is you build him up with encouragement so he makes the right decisions, so he can decide and make good judgment. So he wants to do his own homework. Not us always having to go back behind them, did you do this, get in there, Well, you're making them mad. My mom used to make me mad when I wouldn't play the piano, and after she made me mad, I practiced for 2 hours, but anyway. But it's not about making them mad, it's making about them wanting to do it. They also may hear that my efforts are important, because that's what you're going to be talking about. He learns to evaluate his own progress. You don't have to. When my granddaughters and grandson was coming in with the pretty picture they liked, they were probably, it could have been as young as preschool. You can use this as young as you need to. The younger you use it, the more head start your child's going to have. Wish I had this. Well, I learned this when my child was in the 6th grade. So see, he's never too old to learn either. Never too young, never too old. Okay. He learns to use his talents and efforts for good of all, just not about himself to get the praise. He learns how to feel glad about his own successes. It's not about what mom says anymore, dad. It's about what he likes. If he's going to make good decisions here, he might make better decisions socially too. Okay, encouragement is helping students believe in themselves, that's what it said, and their abilities. It's a basic attitude toward themselves and others. So they're learning how to be better. Some people are taking notes. So
Oh, sorry about that.
I just hold scrambling writing, so.
Should I go to the top?
No, is that good? That's the first one, right? Okay. Yeah. And it's a basic attitude towards yourself. I feel good about me. So when the child's being bullied or made fun of, or, children being children, they're going to sort of let it go over their head, or that's not true about me, and they won't accept it. I've got a grandson. He has executive dysfunction in the brain, so he can't handle his emotions very well anyway. But that child, if it's going to happen to anybody, it's going to happen to poor Christian. And he is always made fun of, bullied, for no reason what he's doing, except he's just the target, He cannot deflect. Not because he doesn't, not because this hadn't been used, but because he's not just able to. So I see the struggle with low self-esteem, and even in my practice I do. What low self-esteem can do to a child. Okay? Again, praise goes to those who excel, and with encouragement, it is not earned. It is for any positive movement. In other words, they made an F, and they come up with next is C, right? They come up with a C-. Then you talk about the progress they made, not the end result again. if it was praise, you couldn't do that because it's all about the end result. You gotta do good. You gotta make the good grade. But you talk about the progress. So you're giving them the hope that they're moving forward. We're allowing the, good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, this one is back in 70s, 80s, maybe. They had a book for parents using this. They also had a textbook that they actually went through in college. The teachers went through in college learning this language. So this is the same thing, but it came from the teacher's perspective with the student. So this has been well used and well founded. It just sort of fell by the wayside, but I want to bring it back. Okay. That says about the same thing I've been saying. Encouragement helps the child to make a mistake, to be imperfect. And, you know, sometimes we hear, and it is a good idea, ignore the negative and talk about the positive. Okay, they come in with their report card and they made 2 A's, 2 B's, and I don't know how many subjects you have, and 1 C. What's the first thing you're going to point out? The C. Yes. Well, no. You are to point out, well, look here, you made 2 A's. Tell me how you feel about that. That's a statement on the paper. Tell me how you feel about that. Well, I felt really good. You know, I studied hard. I did what the teacher told me to, got my homework up. Well, how you feel about these B's? These are pretty good grades too. See, I shouldn't have said that, right? How you feel about the B's? Well, you know, that was a hard subject, but I really worked hard on it. So you put a lot of effort into it. That's the parent's life. I can see you put a lot of effort into it. Never mention the C, because Psychology 101 says what's rewarded will be repeated. So when I spoke about the A's and the B's, that's what's going to be repeated. If you point your finger on the C, then they feel disheartened, let down, I can't ever do it right, but look at this, you know. So ignore the bad grade. Mistakes are not failures. They skipped a question, they skipped a whole assignment, didn't know they did, or whatever. You just tell them the mistakes are not failures. They can learn from the mistakes, but you would say, so you don't like your grade, what would you do different next time? If they made that huge mistake, you say, well, you seem unhappy about it, what would you do next time? See how we're putting all that back on them rather than our value on them. The first step in encouragement is stop making negative comments toward the students. And if you say, well, tell me about this C, you know, this is really lousy. Or you can do better than this. Okay, so you want to allow the mistakes, and through the encouragement they can do that, but they will continue to develop and grow, so they will make good grades, or make their potential. You want to identify their talents, their assets, positive attitudes, and their goals. Point out their strengths. What are they good in? The same granddaughter that always show me her picture and says, I do feel good about my picture. She has a sense of humor that is so funny to me. She finds something good, something funny, something happy about everything. And I tell her that all the time, you know, you have a good sense of humor. You enjoy yourself. So see how I was pointing out the asset? This is a part of her. So you want them to develop that asset, that good thing. Be sure that you're not setting the expectation too high for your children. Most of you know what your child's potential is, and it doesn't matter if they're a solid C student. If that's their full potential, they're giving forth the effort, they're putting forth determination, they're giving time. So that's all you can expect, and that's okay. Sometimes those C students are better than the ones that make the all A's who memorize and know how to take a test. Then you forget about it. So your C student can be an excellent person, student, as successful as an adult. Again, look at their strengths, not their faults. Here are the real phrases. Is this a good time to hand them out?
Yeah, I have them over here, but you can show them. The green is English and the yellow is Spanish.
Oh, thank you. Allie took care of this for me. Boy, she was on the spot for me. The green is English, and this is translated in Spanish. Okay? So, just...
At the end, you can come pick one up.
Okay, and at the end, you can pick someone up. English green, Spanish yellow. Okay? Okay. Now, these are the actual statements that you need to tell your kids. And these are the handout over there that you can pick up. This demonstrates acceptance. I accept what you're doing. You're accepting them more than probably the activity. But just to say, you know, your child's in there being really quiet, being really good, and he may be drawing or something, so you would want to tell him, well, you seem to like that activity. You probably already do some of that. It's nice that you enjoy learning. And as you go through, don't try to memorize the whole page in a week. Just pick out 2 or 3 and just, you know, build your repertoire as you go. I can tell you're pleased with it. Now, see, that would have been something I would have told Lily with the picture. I can tell you're pleased with it. And she would say, I am. Dalton puts together a little, little Legos. Loves it. You can tell he loves it. So that's something I would say to him. You know, I can tell that you're really happy putting his Legos together. Again, this is the one that I said earlier. If he makes a low grade and says, oh, I'm so sorry I made this low grade, rather than saying, well, you got to study an hour a week. Now, there is a time for that. But in the beginning, you would say, since you're not satisfied with your grade, what do you think you'll do different next time so you'll be happier with it? And the kids will be a lot harder on themselves than we will be. It looks like you enjoyed that. I think we've said that too. How do you feel about it? Love that statement. How do you feel about it? Because, again, you're putting it back on them. these are my favorites. This is to show confidence. It's the one that builds them up. It's the one that helps them to be who they really are. Knowing you, I'm sure you will do fine. You'll make it. You'll make that grade. You can get in there and get that homework done. You can do this. I have confidence in your judgment. I love the word I have confidence in your judgment. There was a video that went with this. Do you see how old this is, the videos? Anybody know what that is? Try me. And it was showing the parents telling the kids, you know, the wrong way, and then it came back and did it the right way. And when it came to, I've got confidence in your judgment, there's one lady that says, I've got the confidence you can do it. And the little boy said, well, if they've got the confidence, then I've got the confidence. So it's catching a little bit, you know. You know, they may even come up with something, a math problem, or it could be even a social problem. You know, the friend was unhappy with him today or fussed at him today. That's a tough one, but I think you can work it out. Now, if you want to talk to them about the, you know, the problem, the math, be sure they know what to do, and then I would leave and say, but I'm sure you can work it out. Again, you'll figure it out. All these are about the same. This is the one when my son was in the 6th grade. And this is the one, the book only had one phrase. And it was, I've got the confidence that you can do it. So that is my all-time favorite phrase. So I used it on my child for 3 months. Phrases that focus on contributions, what they do for the family, the assets and appreciation. I'm sure you already do this too, but it is worthwhile putting in because it is still part of building up. Thanks, that helped a lot. You know, they set the table or they cleaned their bathroom or whatever. It was thoughtful of you to do whatever the chore is, whatever the favor was, because it made my job easier. You happen them to feel a part of the family. I need your help on. Now, to know that they can help you, oh man, they just gonna gloat. So, you know, be specific with what you need their help on. And again, to the family group, you did something today. I really enjoyed it today. Thanks a lot. To the whole family. You have the skill in drawing. I can't draw at all. Can you draw a straight line? You have the skill in drawing. Would you do that for the whole family? Would you draw a picture for the whole family? I had my one granddaughter, she drew the picture on a canvas, you know, and it was for me, so I've got to hang it up. But she had the skill in drawing. These are good too, because this is, you know, they make the bad grade, they don't make what you wanted them to. You really worked hard on that. You know, that gives them time, that gives them an area to make space to make a mistake, to make improvement, but they don't have to be perfect. Looks like you spent a lot of time thinking that through. I say you're moving right along. Okay, you know, the child's in there crying, Mom, I can't do this, this is too long. Whatever he or she might be doing, you can say, but I see you're moving right along. Look how far down the page you are. Look at the progress you've already made. And you can say in math or whatever, but if you're talking about this particular homework assignment, look at the progress you've already made. You're improving in math. They may still be unhappy with the grade. Remember, if it went from an F to a C, you're improving. You may not feel that you reached your goal, but look how far you've come. So see, you don't have to be the best, you don't have to reach the goal, make the progress. This is just a little summary. I think I've probably said most of this already. With the encouragement, though, your child will learn that it's okay to make mistakes, to be imperfect, but they still have the willingness to try. A lot of these folks, though, if they don't have that self-esteem, they will feel discouraged. They want to just give up. I can't do this. So just to be able to say these statements to your child helps them to try, and I think that's important. Encouragement, remember, is the internal evaluation. How you feel about yourself and your own effort is most important. It's not doing it for mom and dad or the teacher. It's doing it for themselves. You focus on effort and improvement. Don't have to be perfect. I think we've said that already, so we're good on this one. Okay, before I do the conclusion, I want to tell you my story with my son. This author, and the author, I believe, is going to be on your paper where I learned this from. He was looking through my window at my son. I thought, oh my goodness. Ryan would come in and he would sit at the kitchen table and I'd be in the kitchen. It's like, one big room. And he would say, I don't know how to do this. And you go and show him, or I'd go and show him, and he'd say, that's not how the teacher did it. And and he would whine and cry and delay and argue and all this stuff, Well, I knew enough. When I learned this, I knew not to say, well, hush, what you want to tell him. So I would use the one sentence, remember, that was in the old book, and it was, I've got the confidence that you can do it. And I'd go over there, and I thought, he can do this, so I'd just tell him, I've got the confidence that you can do it. Well, it was 3 to 5 minutes later, Mama, I don't know how to do this. This is hard, on and on and on. Now, he was in the 6th grade. So, I would go back, Ron, I got the confidence that you can do it, just in that tone of voice. And then he would do this time and time again. Well, I did this for him 3 months, the same sentence about 5 or more times a day. One day, he was out sweeping the carport off. And he said, Mama, what did I think he was going to say? I don't want to do this, right? And I looked at him and I said, Ron, I got the confidence that you can do it. And he said, I know I got the confidence, I just don't want to do it. Get out there and do that confidence. So he had learned it. And he does have confidence today. And after that, he would get his homework without the arguing, he'd get it up quicker, he'd get it up better, and he was an A student. But now, you still wouldn't know that about Ryan, but he's pretty smart, but he didn't let anybody know that. But he did, he made good grades. But I didn't have to struggle anymore to get him to. He just did it. And that's what I want your kids to do, is just be able to want to do it. Now, in high school, he would say, wake me up in the morning, I'll do it in the morning. Well, my rule for me, as I was growing up, you got to do this the night before. It's got to be done. And against my grain. But I said, if you can do it. So I'd wake him up that 30 minutes, 45 minutes early, and sure enough, he'd go in there, he'd get it up, and it'd be done. So know your child too. Give them credit. They can do it. We just gotta let them know we know they can do it. Okay, am I? Right?
Any questions?
Any questions? So what you need to do is just memorize, let's say 1 or 2 from each section. You probably already got the last section. You already do that anyway. But just memorize it, and I, like I said, I only had the one sentence, and I said it over and over and over. But caught it. I even gave this to a woman the other day to say to her husband. I did. He needed to hear it. So, any more questions? Thank you. You're a really big group.